Hey everybody, it is the Chris's 1 and 2 here for the Chattanooga Film Festival award ceremony. A bit delayed this year due to the fact that I have been in a COVID coma over here, just enjoying all the liquids that my body can handle, and then
The
just
man's been on death's door.
sweating them back
My
out.
God.
It's not quite as bad as all that, but I am very, very grateful for the extra time to recuperate. And again, it's been a joy to watch all of the early reviews and the kind words come in from everybody. We really, really appreciate it. And thanks for all the get well wishes. Y'all are the sweetest and best, and you know that. But yeah, I'm here with Dad, who couldn't make it last year, but is back restoring a sacred CFF tradition. And
Yes. Damn me for missing last year.
he's promised not to curse too much this time. I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
try to keep him under control as
I'll
much as I
keep that to a
can. You,
minimum.
you know, I like to keep it classy with an absolute minimum of F bombs.
Of
So,
course. Of course.
yeah, but so the other half of the awards for us is always the sort of expressing our endless gratitude because it's an understatement and a half to say it takes a village to do this, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
have a particularly small village, even by village standards. So I would love to kick things off by saying a thank you to all of this year's sponsors, especially the Tennessee Entertainment Commission, who have believed in us since year one and have continued
Yep.
to just increase their support and let us do creative and weird and wonderful things and have had our backs doing it. And same with our friends at Arrow. You guys are amazing. It's been a joy to work with you over the years. Louise, you know we love you. But all you guys, we just lots of love from the whole CFF team. And also to the folks at Snapdragon and all of our local sponsors. And you guys have just really, really, been a part of this for many years too. So please know how much it means to us that we are able to get this done with your support and your help. And to the talented members of the press who've already kind of hit the ground running and have helped us spread the word about this year's many amazing films, as well as Phil and Kim from Fangoria for coming and getting in the mix. And once again, saying some of the kindest things that anybody has said about us. We salute y'all. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're not Tribeca, and we don't want to be. And you guys really understand us and understand why we're here and why we're doing what we're doing. To our volunteer team, you all fucking rule. You know that. But Isabel, you and your entire family pretty much became our best friends this year.
Oh, man.
Blake selfishly braved a literal Faustian inferno to make sure the chairs were there for our Faust event.
Yes, he did.
To our talented photographers, to our box office folks, to our tech team, you've all made it as seamless as it could possibly be. And it's never going to be totally seamless, but y'all achieved the closest thing to perfect that we ourselves would even want to achieve. It really means the world to us that you saddled up with us this year. And now is where I get to the really fucking mushy stuff. And you will forgive me if I do run out of oxygen multiple times throughout this list.
Yeah, have you got your inhaler with you?
I am ready to rock in that regard, sir.
Okay.
I wish you were kidding about that, folks. So first of all, I have to say a giant thanks and so much love to my partner Tia, who she knows I adore her, but she's kept me sane and grounded and carried me through some of the darkest times in my life. And there aren't really a lot of good ways to thank someone for that sort of thing, but I'm going to keep trying to figure some out. I love you and you're amazing, and I really appreciate you. To Sam, our volunteer coordinator, your endless kindness and determination once again helped us find our way to having one of the most incredible crews of volunteers behind the helm of this year's event that we've ever had. You know I love you, but I hope you know how much. To Jake Moore, our latest
My guy. My guy.
a former student of Dad's who's been with us even in the trenches during our very first virtual year when we had to figure out some insane shit for Microsoft just to make movies happen online. You've worked with us now before. You're now part of the permanent squad. But whether it was pinch hitting on film intros when I couldn't be in two places at once, or just being a joy to be around and an endlessly reliable human, we're really glad to have you with us. And you mean a lot to us, dude. Toby, we're so lucky to have you part of our team here. The joy you take in connecting good people in the Chattanooga community with other good people in the Chattanooga community has never stopped bringing new and amazing allies to our door year after year. You organized a hell of a cocktail competition this year. We made so many new allies this year and made so many new friends because of you. And you know I love you a lot. To Sarah, our intrepid volunteer coordinator, who set an alarm every day in Arizona for 6 a.m. just to make sure the day started on time, and that there was someone from our crew there to welcome you guys every day. Your endless efforts to build this community and tie our virtual friends into the fun are just not forgotten or lost on us down on this end. And we want you to know you crushed it again. Even from afar, and made sure our world was a warm and inviting one for newcomers and veterans alike. To John Meyer, who's been with us in the trenches for multiple years now, but kind of like Jake is now formally part of the squad now, part of our weird fabric. Your friendship, belief in this festival, and endless passion for forgotten physical media are just a handful of the reasons we're so proud to have you on that squad. And I hope you know we salute you, sir, and we're going to be excited to work with you again in the future. To Erica, our high priestess of parties, who, despite being in pre production on her first feature, still made time to help us put on some of the wildest and funnest parties in our history. We salute you, our priestess. To Dustin, and get ready to blush, good sir. I'm sorry, there's multiple paragraphs here, and I can't help it.
Yeah. This guy does it all. This guy.
I have to take a drink for this one. My best friend and the human equivalent of Batman's utility belt, your kindness, sense of humor, sense of weirdness, and adventure, putting together this event with us, putting our feature program together with you is a true joy. The unbelievable amount of work you did to make sure every virtual film had a Q&A and something going on. You really, really tied things together. This festival needed you badly, and I'm so grateful for you. I can't express how grateful I am or how lucky this festival is to have you in its life. Equally so to Ashley, to call you an overachiever is frankly not fair to other overachievers. Your tireless work, boundless kindness, and patience set the tone for so many who come into our orbit, and it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you and to learn from you. You make us better in so many ways, and though I know last year we called you our Dragon Slayer, I feel as though it's you've evolved into becoming our Giant Slayer too, and that's a hell of a lot of slaying.
Yeah, we push the hard stuff on her.
That's true. That's not fair, but yeah, okay, cool.
She does it so well, though.
And you know, speaking of hard stuff, Dad, I've got you on here. You've had my back on this insane adventure for over a decade now, and you've never stopped asking how you can do more. The passion you share for young filmmakers, the desire to teach them and to mentor them, and the lasting dozens of friendships that you've kicked up with our filmmakers and guests over the years have helped us become what we are and set an incredible tone. It means the world, and you know it. Clementine, one of my oldest friends, a source of endless inspiration and a true joy to work with. It's such a blast putting the shorts program together with you and getting excited and knowing that when I see something I love, that you're often on the other end of your computer, loving it in your own way, and that comparing notes with you is just a joy. Sort of a player behind the scenes that I have to give him a lot of credit to Jocelyn Pontius, my therapist. I don't know if other festival directors thank their therapists in their award ceremonies, but they should. You're my friend, and unquestionably one of the reasons I was able to get out of bed on some of the harder and weirder days this year. And there's been more than their fair share of those because we did, as many of you know, have to put down my good friend Achilles, my dog, a week or so before the festival here. And I really do want to dedicate this year to him. He would have been 14 years old on my birthday, the first day of the fest, and it really wasn't the same without him this year, but I love him, and all of you really, really helped bring me through that darkness and experience so much joy in this festival. And I have to thank you for that. It really it means the world to me year after year to see this thing, and that it's grown, that it's hung around, any of these things. The novelty value of none of that is lost on me. So with all of that preamble that I thankfully did not have an asthma attack during, we can finally get into the winners.
Actually, I have a thank you. I want to thank you.
Oh, don't do this.
Son. I'm going to do it because you have shown me, even though I've always felt like I've had a passion for what I do, you have shown me what passion can do. If you set a goal and you love what you're doing and you're passionate about it, great things can happen. So that's an example you've set not only for your old man, but many, many people who have come to our festival. So if this were easy, I've told you this every year, everybody would do it. It ain't easy, and you're doing it as well as anyone.
As well as anyone is my aim, for sure, and I
Well,
do appreciate that.
I didn't mean that as a
No,
left-handed
no,
compliment.
I didn't
You're
take it as one.
you're
Uh,
kicking ass, bro. Is what I'm
you're
trying to say.
kicking
But I
ass,
can't
taking
be. I
names,
got to be careful
inventorying the
because I'm
list
your
of the names.
dad. I've
I
got to be
understand.
careful. I
Yeah,
can't go too crazy.
I wouldn't
But
want you to lavish me with praise.
I just want to. I'm proud of you, dude, because you're doing what you love, and everybody should take a crack at doing what they love. You know
And
what I mean?
I encourage you all to, when you do your own award ceremonies in life, to invite one of your parents along so they can just inflate your ego. It's really, it's wonderful.
We talk about this every day, man.
But yeah, this year was just an unbelievable pool of submissions and scouted films that we've pulled from all over. This is, without exception, the largest amount of films we've ever received. And
Yeah.
honestly, it was incredibly difficult even to put the lineup together, and to choose the winners was even more difficult. And to kick things off, I'd love to start with an award that Dad himself helps curate. And again, Dad is the programmer for our student and regional block, and is the right person to put in that role, I find. But I'd love you to talk a little bit about this year's student winner.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's always been like this with me for music. I think I can hear a new song, and you know this because you put on tunes in the car, knowing that I'll say, "Who's this?" And
Sometimes I have to play it like 4 or 5 times, and then on the fifth time, you're
well,
like, "Who's
well, no,
this?"
not
So,
usually, but anyway, this film is kind of like that. I mean, from the opening bell, I thought, okay, this has got potential. And then midway through, I thought this film kicks ass. And then after it was over, I said, "Ding, ding, ding! I feel like we got a winner already." So I called you, and you watched it, and you said, "Bro, that's a winner." And
and
sure enough, it was a winner.
I gotta say, another good sign is, whenever you're in the lobby of the festival and there's always chatter about what people have watched and loved. And this is, you try to be a fly on the wall as often as you can. This is the movie that I constantly heard people referencing the title of throughout
It's
the
so
weekend.
great too. It is so awesome because it actually has set CFF history, which we'll talk about later. But we are talking about the magnificent kung fu short film "Check Please" by director Shane Chung. Uh, wow, it's hard to describe, and I can't even fathom how he did the fight choreography on whatever budget he had.
Unbelievable,
But
man.
I mean,
So much fun.
to use a Visa card as a weapon, that's just I don't know. I'm
Without
lost for
official
words.
Visa sponsorship or corporate dollars, no less.
You know,
So
that he should have thought
fantastic.
of that. Yeah, but Shane did a wonderful job, and Chris told me, and he's got a lot more experience at actually programming and sequencing than I do. And he said, "Dad, whatever you do, put this in the middle of your block because that's going to get people energized for the rest of it." And daggone if it didn't. I was in that theater, and people were laughing and cheering and clapping. They love this freaking film, and we're so glad to give Shane Chung his due with Check Please.
Well deserved, Shane. Keep kicking ass. We can't wait to see what you do next, and I hope you will show it to us. Coming up next is our Tennessee Filmmaker Award, something that our friends at the Tennessee Entertainment Commission have had our backs on for many, many years now. It's always something that we want to do as large as we ever grow to shine a spotlight on the talent that's right here in our backyard. And there's a lot of it.
Yeah, there is. And I tell this story a lot, but these particular filmmakers, they sent us their first film the first year of the festival. We didn't take it. We had an exchange about what they needed to do, and second year didn't take it, third year didn't take it, fifth year I called my son and I said, the boys have cracked it. And sure enough, they won with a little film called Galileo. And so they've kept on growing. They've kept on getting better. And this year, they are the first two-time winner of our Tennessee Filmmaker Award with a little dystopian drama called What's Left. I'm talking about directors Ryan Gentle and Austin Quarles. Their company is called Physically Awkward Films. And
And boy, is that in the spirit of every one of us here at CFF. Holy shit.
I told them that, and they cop to that too. You know, they're not one for public speaking or tooting their own horns. And I've told them, I said, fellas, after this film, you need to start patting yourself on the back. But anyway, What's Left makes them our first ever two-time Tennessee Filmmaker Award winners. Congrats, fellas, and I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Well deserved, and the scope of everything y'all have done has just grown and grown and grown. I really don't think you're like making it easier for yourselves. I don't understand.
I don't know how they did it, but they created a dystopian landscape that looked just like anything that you've seen on any Walking Dead or anything like that on a shoestring budget. I don't know how they did it, but they continually show their craftsmanship and their ingenuity to make films. And I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Maybe they'll make a feature out of this. There's certainly the material there.
Yeah, that'd be great. And speaking of creativity and ingenuity, I'm going to segue with that directly to some special jury prizes that we have this year, because again, it was absolutely nightmarish to pick out the award winners this year. And unlike a lot of festivals, we do handle our jury work in-house. We don't want to bring in a bunch of experts from other realms and have them, choose projects that aren't necessarily the things that we think reflect sort of the ethos and the values of this festival. And it's something that means a lot to us to curate these jury awards. And we have to take a moment, because Chattanooga Film Festival happens during Pride Month, and our queer volunteer force, our queer friends, the queer filmmakers that have come through our ranks over the last 12 years are all part of our family. And giving a Pride Award the last 2 years has been something that's very important to us. And this year, man, have we got a great one. And honestly, an honor to give it to who we're going to give it to here, which is the filmmaker Tina Romero for the incredible Queens of the Dead, our closing night selection, drag queens versus zombies versus club kids, something the world needed, clearly, something that we all fell in love with instantly. And gosh, you've made an incredibly just courageous and cool project, and we love it so much. And I can't wait to watch it explode as it releases in other places and throughout the festival circuit. Next is something we began last year with our friends at No Clip, who, by the way, continued the No Clip cinematic universe with No Clip 2 this year, and in fact began in earnest filming No Clip 3 down on the ground at Chattanooga. We noticed you guys were always strapped with mics and cameras, so it was great to see that happening and you still creating. That prize that I'm referring to there is the Jeff Burr prize, and Jeff, of course, the late great Jeff Burr is a filmmaker who means a lot to our festival's history. He was a close friend of ours and really helped us, sort of act as one of the architects when we were putting CFF together at the beginning. And Jeff's work, especially his early work, films like From a Whisper to a Scream, really just showcased, what you can do with homemade creativity. And along those lines, there was a film this year that meant a lot to me. And I know there was not a lack of misty eyes in the house for this screening. I'm talking about director Albert Birney's unbelievable Obex. And gosh, this movie means a lot to me. And at a time when we're all sort of, and it's ironic to say this because we're doing this via our own screens, it really shows you the importance of relationships and friendship and connection at a time when it's not as easy as it used to be to connect. So I really had to shout out that film. We love Obex absolutely with all of our hearts. For a new jury prize this year that we're calling the Cult Classic Award, which, yes, perhaps is a bit on the nose because the film itself does have to do with cults. But
yes, it does.
And also, I have to give props to the filmmakers behind this movie, the Blomquist brothers, for actually helping us stage another actual cult ritual at CFF. We haven't
yes, they did.
haven't gotten to have a cult on hand since the Endless, and boy, it was so much fun to see masked madmen around the festival and around the parties. This is our cult classic award. Our winners, Self Help, a fantastic film and a movie we were honored to world premiere this year. Uh,
Look at this. Look at this. I was indoctrinated into the cult. My new name is Felix. You can call me Fee. And there's good news and bad news about that. The bad news is I probably won't see my friends and family anymore. But the good news is people won't confuse me with you for CFF anymore because I'll be
that sounds
going
like
into the cult.
that's great news. All right.
Yeah, yeah. But
A
just call me Fee, and I'll answer to Fee if I'm still around.
gentle and indoctrination happening once again at this year's Chattanooga Film Festival.
Indeed, sir.
Another new jury prize named in honor of Miss Olivia Newton-John's once hit signal, Let's Get Physical, a special jury prize we had to offer to the unbelievably talented Scott Ampleford and Elisa Stern for your fantastic short film VHX. The anthropomorphic videotape from which will haunt our dreams and daydreams for many years to come. Such a fantastic film, and it was well loved by absolutely all who saw it, and will continue to be so. Love you guys. It was great meeting you down on the ground as well. Next up is our Dangerous Visions Prize, named in honor of a series of unbelievable short story collections that Harlan Ellison, the cantankerous but unbelievably talented sci-fi genius, put into the world. This is a category that we think kind of represents the sort of programming that we think there's a little bit of a dangerousness to it, a rambunctiousness of spirit, a forward thinkingness, and this film is one that really just honestly charmed the shit out of us. And we're not even just talking about its official spokesdemon Chip or its incredible performances by genre luminaries. We're talking about Mr. Woody Bess's Portal to Hell. Woody, your movie is awesome, and we were so overjoyed to get a chance to share it this year.
Our audience loved it. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. They loved it.
Coming next is something that we, again, had to come up with something for this movie simply because we all love it so damn much. It's an award we're calling our Bad Night Good Movie Award. And this goes to director Matthias Solansky's Good Night, and absolutely just a banger of a movie, and one that we cannot wait for people to discover as it winds its way along the festival circuit, and I'm sure gets an incredible release somewhere. This movie is just a cult hit waiting to happen, and we love it so much. It's such a badass motion picture, and it was an honor to get to share it. Next up, I'm going to let you do this one, Dad. This is our best first feature prize, which is, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I got to say before I reveal the winner that the director is a force of nature. You can just tell when people have it, and whether they have the personality and the chutzpah and the guts and the brains and everything it takes. That's Gigi Hawkins and her film, I Really Love My Husband. It was her first feature. She worked hard to get it done. It was shot on location, and it just charmed everybody that saw it, and well deserved. And I got to know Gigi, and I consider her a friend now, and I'm proud to be her friend.
I also have to say, Gigi, for going under the lens with the making of your first film and really sharing every step of the process of getting it made through your podcast and your other work too, is just something that I know means a lot to a hell of a lot of filmmakers, and did want to personally say so myself. It was great to meet you, like Dad said, and we hope you'll be back with the podcast next year, like we talked about. To the best documentary of this year, now skirting away from our special jury prizes, I had the honor of doing this Q&A myself, and I really love this film, and we all instantly fell in love with it. And it just shows you, I think, a side of the, the queer South that you wouldn't ordinarily get to see. And what an incredible tour guide this gentleman was. The documentary is Bob Morgan's just going to tell some stories, and it's filmmakers Tom Marksbury and Grayson Tyler Johnson. I love talking with you about this movie. I love this movie, and I think it's a powerful and incredible piece of work, and an inspiring one. And it's such a joy to give you this prize. It's well deserved. And it was a year with a lot of great documentaries too. So I hope
Yes, it was.
it's well deserved, y'all. Uh, Moving along the line to our best short film. This one is another joy to give out because kind of like Dad, this filmmaker sort of filled a mentor role. There was a night during the festival when you had a few hours until your flight and a bottle of whiskey. You knew you weren't going to be able to take on the plane, and you poured out a few glasses and you held court with a bunch of young filmmakers. And
until next thing you know, it's 4 a.m.
Until it's 4 a.m. Yeah,
people were just sat at his knee and were wrapped in attention. Incredible. I watched the film again last night, and I like it just as much now as I did when I first saw it.
We're talking about, Damn Handy by Mr. Peter Filardi. And I have to say, Peter, a lot of love to you as well for the amount of enthusiasm you show the work of other filmmakers, because every time I ran into you during the festival, you were coming in and out of something and you had unbelievable things to say about what you saw. So it's just really awesome to watch someone who made so much work that's honestly hugely influential to us, sort of pay it forward and be a figure that younger filmmakers can look to as well.
He was as nice and kind and decent and honorable of a guest as we've ever had. And if you look at his filmography, I mean, he could be high and mighty. I mean, the man wrote Flatliners and The Craft, but he's just as humble as he can be. And he's eager to share his knowledge with young filmmakers. And I appreciate him. And I hope he comes back every year. Whether he has a film or not, he was a welcome guest.
It was a top 5 guest, sir. We loved you. We love you. I shouldn't say it in past tense. It was such an honor to meet you, Peter. And I really appreciate the experience that you had here. You said it was an emotional recharge for you. It was an emotional recharge for me to see you emotionally recharge. So
he told me literally before he left out of the place to catch a plane, he said CFF reinvigorated him. So I can only imagine when he goes home and gets back to his keyboard, what that means. And I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, whatever comes next, Peter, we're excited for it. You know it has a home here. Bringing us to one of the biggest awards that we have to give away, which is our Best Feature Prize. And man, so many unbelievable films this year. Honestly, the largest lineup in our history too. So a lot of hard choices to make this year, but this one actually came pretty damn easy. Best Feature, Abigail Before Beatrice, and its talented cast and director, Cassie Keat. Cassie, you are a ray of sunshine. This movie is amazing, and we were so overjoyed that you gave us an opportunity to share it. It also meant the world to our virtual audience that you absolutely were ride or die with us for accessibility, and you let this film screen virtually. I cannot wait to watch this movie, get a wider release and get seen by so many more people. It's such a badass and incredible piece of work. We love it so much, and we love you, your entire amazing cast and team. Abigail Before Beatrice is this year's Best Feature.
Now, I wish we had a way to do drum rolls, because this
Dustin,
next award,
do you have?
I'm not going to do it myself because I'm going to embarrass myself.
I'm sure Dustin has some sort of a sound effect.
I'll bet he can. Maybe he can work that in.
I don't even want a drum roll. I want like David Lee Roth. If I could get something. Yeah, I don't know.
We have seen CFF history set this year, because never before in our 12 years has the audience award for Best Short been from a student filmmaker. And this year, that award goes to now a 2-time winner, director Shane Chung in Check Please. We knew that film was going to rock the house, but I had no idea the impact that it would have and that he would come away with two of our laurels. Way to go, Shane. You've got a lifetime supply of entry fees waived, whatever you want. We're here for you.
Well deserved, Shane. Such a great movie. Once again, absolutely loved it. And it was honestly no surprise to see the ballots come rolling in for it, sir. Uh, our audience award for feature again, it was a close race, and we do have to give some props to the runner up, which is Hot Spring Shark Attack, which is to say you all loved Hot Spring Shark Attack just as much as we do, and we know what a ridiculous and magnificent motion picture it is. So it meant a lot to watch. You guys discover it throughout the weekend. Also, props again to Phil from Fango for giving it some love. But the actual taker of this year's audience award comes from an alumni filmmaker, a gentleman who was only too willing to put us in touch with some films and filmmakers that we also wanted to add to our lineup this year. A person who got on the ground and mixed it up with the best of them this year. Talking about you, Mr. Heston Horwin, and I'm talking about the fantastic Misadventures of Vincent Hick and its talented director Trevor Stevens. You guys are fucking awesome. This movie is fucking awesome, and we love it. And obviously, so does our audience.
So, man, I'll tell you, I can't remember a year where we had so much embarrassment of riches to choose from. And let me tell you, folks, this guy here watches every film, and I don't think there's a programmer in the country that does that. And it's not because he has to. We've got screeners and volunteers and people like Dustin who tirelessly watch films, and Ashley and a lot of our crew. He just wants to do it. And he told me early on, he said, Dad, I don't remember a year where we've had this much quality programming. And it sure proved to be true, didn't it, son? I mean, 130 films that we programmed, is that right? And gosh, the student and the Tennessee films were the best that I ever had to choose from. It was tough, but thank God he gave me fun size epics to go virtual, and I was able to take films that were longer than 15 minutes up to 27 minutes, and you all loved those as well. So yeah, we were able to squeeze in a lot.
Have to again give so much love to Dustin and so much love to Clementine for really just like being the unbelievable forces that you are, and just helping me carve this year's lineup out of clay. You guys crushed it, and honestly, bouncing films off of both of you is like one of the true joys of this job, and one of the reasons why it doesn't feel like as much of a job as I know it must be, because there's a lot of moving parts to this son of a bitch. But I also
that's for damn sure.
I have to say that this is the year that we made the decision to completely ban films that make any use of generative AI. And even though we did make that decision, we did find one film made with artificial intelligence that I do feel like is a really creative and fascinating piece of work. And I'd love to show you just a snippet of it here before we go, to show that even we, can admit when we're wrong. And so, let's take a look at it. Don't forget about what you learned at summer camp for Cinephiles, which is that the friends that we made along the way are just as important as the movies we log on our goddamn Letterboxd accounts, that you're all a bunch of fucking badasses, and that there's no such thing as a one-star review here at CFF. There's only bangers in this here hangar. We love you guys, and we'll see you in 2026.